My apologies for this being so amateur, but I thought I'd do a video to advise all our restaurant, bar, club clients, serviced office operators and anybody who's affected by the virus what our general advice is. Firstly, in order to get into any, there are three parties involved in your premises. There's number one, you, all right, and you may have experienced severe cash flow problems or be experiencing them in the future. Number two, the landlord who wants to get his rent in, and number three, the bankers who want to get their interest. And so there are three people who should actually share the pain. Can't be just one of them, which is the tenant. So the landlord can't just bully the tenant because he's going to lose the tenants. And imagine what Leicester Square will be looking like if every single tenant just jacked in and went into liquidation. And that's what would happen. A lot of the club, bars and restaurants, they only actually take their rent in the last 2 weeks before the quarter day, the turnover being 5 times the EBITDA, right? And therefore we're advising don't pay the rent to start with. I've been through 4 of these recessions, 74, 84, 94, and of course Lehman's 2008, where our whole rent review department was turned over immediately to do corporate rescue and corporate restructuring. We've linked up with an insolvency practitioner who can come in if you've got any serious problems, and the whole team is mobilized for video calls and any other form of communication. Most important thing is to get on to us quickly. We are actually anticipating at the moment government intervention, and it seems to be quite a good thing. I'm not certain about this at this minute in time. It seems to be a good thing that the government has ordered bars, clubs and restaurants to close, because it does infer that the insurers then have to come in as well. But in the meantime, even if the insurers come in, they might insure the rent you've lost, but to really take consideration of how long it could take to get going, depending on how long we're going to be locked down for, is anybody's guess. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months. Many of our club operators have actually closed till September, but that's quite a natural thing because the summer's quite quiet anyway. I wait to see what's happening with regard to the restaurants. Casinos have obviously closed and we act for them as well. And then the poor serviced office operators, because nobody's going to go anywhere where lots of people have to be, and they really need some help. Think about the dentists. Nobody's going to go to the dentist and they need help, and there's all sorts of sectors that are going to be jeopardized. So the first thing is to realize that you shouldn't be alone as a tenant, that you need professional advice as a tenant. I would promote us, obviously, since we've been at the forefront of restructuring negotiations. We do them all year round when our clients get into problems, and landlords don't really want to lose them, they prefer to keep them. So where there's a relationship that the landlord wants to keep the tenant, the banker wants to keep the landlord from going into liquidation, everybody's in it, and our job is to quietly and professionally and getting the landlords to buy into a deal which is it's not a favourable one. When a really good deal is where 2 people do walk away moderately discontented. I hope you've liked this video. I'm sorry to have to send you video, but it's the only way of communication at the moment, and I hope it's useful for you. If you do want to make contact, just contact Frank Perry at Lorenz Consultancy. He's heading that, which is fp@lorenzconsultancy.com. Look forward to hearing from you if interested. Thanks.